When playing any control legend, the key to having success with them comes down to how well you utilize area denial to your advantage. This can either be very easy to get a lot of value out of with these type of legend abilities, or very difficult to get any value at all, depending on who you talk to. But one of the more popular legends and one of the easier legends to actually get value out of their control abilities is Caustic. He tends to be one of the more popular choices out of the control legends, and with good reason. His abilities can be extremely annoying to deal with while being very beneficial to the user. In fact, he probably has the strongest area denial capability in most situations. So today we are going to go over some Caustic gameplay and analyze how we can better use area denial to our advantage. So one of the main purposes of Caustic's barrels is offensive prevention. For example, here, he drops a barrel on the wall before pushing up the stairs, and this in turn buys him more time to handle the engagement at hand before having to be concerned with getting shot in the back. This is particularly helpful because it tells you whether or not you are getting pushed from an angle that you don't have eyes on, signaling to you whether or not you need to push up and take space sooner, or if you need to just reposition altogether so you don't get pinched. Though generally enemies won't just run through the smoke after activating it unless they absolutely have to, but generally you will be able to tell, because if they destroy the barrel, then it is very likely that they are going to go for the push. Think they don't, then likely you should be good. So you can see how it provides you with not only offensive prevention, but also provides you with a lot of information to help you with your decision making. Now, in this engagement, there is something else that your gas allows you to achieve fairly easily, and that is isolation. In this case, he was able to isolate the hound away from their teammates, making it a 3v1 and instantly putting the entire situation into their favor. All this achieved because of that area denial being so strong. Really, the reason it works so well is because it covers a wide area and slows, making it very difficult to pass through. Plus, it blinds you. Even if they destroy the barrel, it still lingers for a second compared to something like Watts' fence, where once you hit one of the nodes, the fence is just down and that's it. Even if the fence isn't down, you can still aim through it pretty easily, but Caustic Gas gives you that visual obscurity, which can really come in handy when trying to isolate a target into a fight, which of course is always something you want to do, because the better you are at isolating targets without putting yourself in a risky position, the more likely you are going to win as a whole. But really the thing to take note from this engagement is that he placed the barrel on a path that leads to him, rather than placing it and just sitting in the room waiting it out. In some cases, that will be a useful tactic, but often it can be a really good choice to leave the barrels in your wake and then lead enemies into it, rather than just kind of sit there and hope for the best. So again, it really does kind of depend on the situation as well. Now, another form of area denial is one where you entrap a player trying to escape. This can be a bit tricky to do and generally will be easier to achieve when using your ultimate, but it can be done with barrels as well. And just to give you an idea, I'll show you a missed opportunity here where he was chasing this hound who run out the door. Our Caustic opens the door and sort of runs out, tanking the 50-50 fight. But he very easily could have just opened the door, thrown a barrel behind the hound, and stepped back into the door for cover while it arms. Then, as you open the door, if it wasn't already triggered, then you can take a quick shot at it to activate it, so you can ensure that the hound gets that damage stabbed with your bullets at the same time, and also making it so they have absolutely no way to escape. So this could be a viable option if you are trying to keep an enemy from running away, but the stipulation is that you cannot do it if they are really looking at you, because the animation does take a second and they could easily cue you if you aren't careful. Of course, this is circumvented by losing the positioning and cover, only quickly peeking to throw the barrel and being back in cover for the rest of the animation. Also, one thing that is nice about doing this is that if they stop to turn and shoot your barrel, it creates an opening for you to shoot them while they are distracted. Also, you don't even have to follow it up with both, because if they do get trapped in the gas, then you can start lobbing grenades at them from in cover, and it will make it very difficult for them to escape and make it much more likely that you'll actually land those grenades. Overall, Caustic Gas is a very effective tool for a lot of situations, and generally where you will see issues is in wide open spaces. It's much harder to control that space since your gas just doesn't fill up that much area by itself, making it much less disorienting to deal with. So of course that means you'll see the most value by being in areas condensed with a lot of cover or surrounding objects that you can get enemies to run by without seeing your traps. But when it comes to those more open areas, that is when you are going to have to rely a bit more on your ultimate and making